The night of the fight, they weigh like a 20, 18 pounds more than you. It's difficult. It's more difficult, but my power is there. If you hear the punches, my power is different.
Yeah.
I went up 2 weight classes, really like 3. And early, I feel Terrence will have great success. I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back or, catch Canelo early.
Are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case.
Canelo Alvarez responded to Terrence Crawford's latest training footage with calm respect. He admitted that Crawford's slick style carries echoes of Floyd Mayweather and acknowledged the discipline in his preparation. Still, Canelo stood firm in his belief that while Crawford's skill and power are real, they won't be enough to shake him. With confidence, he declared that he is ready to dominate and once again prove his superiority.
Good, because first of all is the respect. If they treat you with respect, you do the same thing. That's what I think. So, and I'm always try to do my best there. Not because I need it or because I need to, because I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, look, and you've been fighting pro now for what, more than 17 years, I believe.
Almost 20.
Wow, yeah, almost 20 years.
In October.
Wow.
I turned 20 years as professional fighter.
Analysts often highlight one key difference between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. The way opponents approach them. Crawford, known for his sharp timing and ability to adjust, usually faces challengers who stand their ground and respect his counterpunching. With Canelo, things change. Opponents often circle the ring, move excessively, and fight to survive, knowing his power can change a fight instantly. Analysts point to this as proof of Canelo's fearsome reputation. His punches carry both physical and psychological weight, forcing fighters into defensive mode before the first bell. This contrast makes Canelo versus Crawford especially intriguing. Crawford thrives when opponents engage, while Canelo thrives when his power breaks their will.
I ain't even seen Gamboa run from Terrence. As a matter of fact, I ain't even seen Victor Postal run from Terrence. We ain't seen Majormov in his last fight run from Terrence but Crawford. But we do see people running away from Canelo Alvarez. People not trying to commit to Canelo Alvarez. We seen it with William Skull. Dude was just as cut up as anybody in the sport of boxing. Mother ever was running. The Cuban style, running. We already know that the Cuban school, man, they highly respected in the sport of boxing. He was running. Jamel Charlo, Iron Man Charlo. I ain't gonna say he wasn't running, but he wasn't committed. He wasn't committed the way that he was committed in the 154-pound division when he was knocking everybody else to get his titles, right? It was very uncharacteristic from Iron Man Jamel Charlo, a knockout artist, right? I'm gonna tell you like this, even Dimitri Bivol was going at it with Canelo Alvarez. 1-2, but he was jumping right back out. Jumping right back out. He beat him in the style that Dimitri Bivol beat him. But it's not like he went out there and had that killer instinct and go for the gusto and stuff like that with Canelo Alvarez. He wasn't just trying to go out there and get him. He was beep, 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 jump back out, jump back out, beep, beep, jump back out. Hold on, I don't want to stay in the danger zone, right? Even though that he beat Canelo Alvarez, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Edgar Berlanga. We seen Edgar Berlanga using his footwork. We see Edgar Berlanga using his footwork and stuff like that, right? He made a good account of himself, but he didn't commit that the way he was committing versus Mantequilla and all his opponents, because Canelo Alvarez is different. Canelo Alvarez is dangerous. And I've been hearing, of course, a lot of people saying that Bud Crawford is dangerous, but ain't nobody. I never saw nobody that fought Terrence Bud Crawford had fear in their heart, fear in their eyes. Even when they was getting beat down from Terrence Bud Crawford, they still stepped to Terrence Bud Crawford.
Canelo's sparring partners, who have felt his power directly, add another perspective. One sparring partner expressed doubt about Crawford's chances, saying he doesn't see Bud carrying the extra weight effectively. His reasoning is rooted in experience. Canelo has beaten bigger men, even light heavyweights, while Crawford is stepping into unfamiliar territory. Gaining muscle might boost Bud's strength, but it could also slow him down. Since speed and precision are the keys to his success, even a small drop could be costly. The concern is simple against a puncher like Canelo. The physical toll of moving up might be too much for Crawford to overcome.
I think Canelo's gonna win, but I tell everybody, man, as a business standpoint, I think it's gonna be a draw if it goes the distance. But I see Canelo getting the stoppage. I don't think Crawford's gonna carry that weight well. Even if he did put on weight, I don't think that was a good idea, especially coming up from a smaller guy. But it's gonna be a great fight. Two brains in the ring. It's gonna be a good fight.
Former world champion and Mexican boxing icon Fernando Vargas has made his position clear. Mexico needs Canelo Alvarez to win. For Vargas, Canelo is more than a great fighter. He is a symbol of national pride, carrying the legacy of Julio Cesar Chavez and other Mexican legends. His victories resonate with fans who see him as the face of Mexican boxing today. Wow. Vargas respects Crawford's talent. He stresses the emotional stakes. Mexico expects its champion to defend national pride on the biggest stage. In his view, Canelo must rise to the occasion not just for himself, but for his country.
You know what's crazy is, I'm a big Crawford fan as well. Like every time he sees me and my brothers and my dad at fights, he comes out of his way, shakes our hand. It's all respect. But I just feel the weight's a little too much, Marcos. I feel going up 2 weight classes really like 3. And early, I feel Terrence will have great success. I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back or, catch Canelo early. Maybe I could see Terrence Crawford go southpaw because you see Canelo has had a bit of problems with southpaws. You could see Canelo, I could see him getting frustrated, picking him up like how he does, like when he gets frustrated. But I say 6th, 7th, 8th round on up, I think he'll figure him out. And we need Canelo to get a stoppage. If not, get a knockout. I think it'll be great for Mexico and it'll be great for Razas. But I got Canelo, coming out with the victory.
Canelo has stopped bigger men before, and moving up in weight has historically tested smaller fighters. Yet recent footage from Crawford's camp has shifted the conversation. Training clips show Bud looking stronger, sharper, and more explosive than ever. His weight gain hasn't slowed him, it seems to have enhanced his athleticism. Analysts note that he has added muscle while keeping his quick footwork and crisp combinations. This transformation has changed doubt into intrigue. Instead of looking undersized, Crawford now looks like a man ready for the challenge, proving that discipline and preparation can bridge the gap at higher weights.
Pounds, right? And again, stark contrast to what Terrence Crawford is having to deal with. He is fighting guys, and when I say cutting down from 190, probably in the ring at 190 pounds, much less cutting down from it. Crawford's probably used to being hit by guys like Sean Porter, who, maybe 160 pound on fight night. The difference is just night and day. So I was thinking, how in God's name are you going to get around that? How are you going to get around the strength disadvantage? Because Crawford is very physically strong, and he normally always has, maybe with the exception of Sean Porter, although that was kind of much of a muchness. Sean Porter did really well that fight. He's normally always had the physical strength advantage, very physically strong as Terrence Crawford. And I just remember thinking, how are you going to get around that? You're used to hitting guys and they get hurt. Alvarez has been hit by Danny Jacobs. He's been hit by Triple G. He's been hit by Bivol, Kovalev, Callum Smith, etc., etc., etc. Big punching guys who are a lot bigger than Terrence Crawford. Granted, not skillful, a lot bigger. So again, I'm thinking, how are you going to get around this? Well, Crawford has released a couple of training clips, and in those training clips, yikes, he's looking good for one. He's looking a lot better than Canelo was looking in some of his training clips. But again, you can't read a great deal into those training clips because, again, Alvarez is clearly holding back. People say, oh, he looked terrible. It's like, well, you can kind of tell he's not going full tilt. You can kind of tell that. So what does that tell you? How many times have we seen guys look good on the pads and then on fight night they've nothing left? I distinctly remember Alexander Povetkin in the run-up to the second Dillian Whyte fight in an open workout.
Former champion Amir Khan, who fought both men, shared valuable insight. He described Canelo as a beast, praising his raw strength, toughness, and devastating counters. Having faced Canelo in 2016, Khan knows firsthand how punishing Alvarez can be. His view carries weight because he also understands Crawford's abilities, having been stopped by Bud in 2019. While Khan respects both, He insists Canelo's size and physical dominance give him a unique advantage. In his eyes, Canelo's danger is something even the most skilled boxers cannot ignore.
And you've been in there with Canelo, you've been there with all the best.
Beast, man. I thought Canelo at his peak. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo's a beast. And he's a great man. He's a good family man as well. Got a lot of respect for him. I like him. You know, we've always had mutual respect for each other. And he still has a picture of me and him in his front room. I saw on a documentary because he really thought that it was one of his biggest fights, like with the hype that I had. Yeah. So yeah, man, it was good times.
And then when people see that fight back, you're winning those early rounds.
Look, it's boxing, boy, 12-round fight. You know, even though I won them early rounds, he caught me with a good shot. He had the power, he had the strength. He was so big. I remember thinking this is easy. I can hit him when I want. But then obviously I knew that when he hit me with a couple of them body shots and he hit me with them shots, I was like thinking, this guy can hit hard.
Some fans and analysts worry that Canelo versus Crawford could mirror the disappointment of Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That long-awaited fight, though historic, left many frustrated with its slow pace and lack of action. The fear is that both Canelo and Crawford, fully aware of each other's strengths, may fight too cautiously. Crawford might hesitate to exchange with the bigger man, while Canelo might deliberately slow the tempo to avoid being caught by Crawford's counters.
Boxing is hanging on a thread. If Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford pulls a Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, there's no turning back. In this side of the pond, boxing is dead. Look, a lot of things is going to Saudi Arabia. David Benavidez, one of the phenoms in the sport of boxing, going to be performing in Saudi Arabia. Devin Haney going to be performing in Saudi Arabia. Just put this. Jerome Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, if it would have came to fruition, was going to happen in Saudi Arabia. Boots Ennis and Tio could have happened in Saudi Arabia. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia was going to happen in Saudi Arabia. So a lot of these big fight that it was planned was not going to be here. It's not going to be here. So for networks to trust the sport of boxing once again, this fight between Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford, whoever you pick, whoever you support, is more than just wins and losses. Doesn't matter. The fight has to win. Doesn't matter if Canelo Alvarez, doesn't matter if Terence Bud Crawford win, lose. The fight has to win. Just like when it was Hagler versus Hearns on a Monday, prime time. Prime time. That was a fight on a Monday. Prime time. Free TV. They put up a wonderful performance to this day. People still remember. And it was only 3 rounds. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford, they better show out and entertain.